Hey, hello guys, it's Mark from the RC 68 in France, and today we have here the MCD RCmag V16PRO. Yeah, we has done the complete paint job for him because I love what Rafa Mamba does. I love the Flyer RC V12PRO, V60PRO, and all our stuff he had. We had some really awesome power systems, Leopard motor, TP power motor, SSS motors. Many guys think that SSS motors, because they are created for boats, they are just vented and they are slick to put the water jacket on, are made only for boats and gonna cook out in a car if you not use liquid cooling system. That's a joke. These motors, because they are vented, heat less than standard motor. That's the first point. Second point, you can still put your blower on there, no problem. So anytime I have done 12 or 60 or ATS, even 6, we have done a Reminator with dual ATS motors. So we have 36S in the Reminator. We drive more than 70 kilometers an hour, normal speed, and we have a runtime with 5,500 lipos from 25 minutes with 40 kilograms. I have done a low Z5 in 18S with an SSS 360 kV motor without any cooling system, never overheat. I have made a 60S system with a Leopard 530, even no issue. What I have not tested yet are the TP power motor, because I'm not a speedrun freak, I'm not a drag racer freak. If you do speed or drag race, I only can invite you to test really seriously SSS motors and TP power motors, especially because they are done just for high performance. They have also a special work on the motor shaft and rotors to not explode. They have some motors rated, some big motors rated over 70,000 RPM. In 1/8 scale, they bring motors on 100,000 RPM limits for 3 seconds. That means it's okay just for a straight line for do your speed run. So you have many choice. I love the SSS motors because they are 6 poles motor, so you have more torque for drag race. That's cool. I love the fact also that SSS motors have 10mm motor shafts, and we have 10mm motor pinion by FG. So easy to get 10mm shaft motors. Because of the bigger shaft, you have a better hold from the magnet on the shaft. You have more surface. So I have done an FG race truck ATS with SSS for 360 kV motor. The truck drives 130 normal speed for run, and with 3.6S 5000 milliamp we do the same run time as a 2-stroke engine. Difference for sure are performance. We was able from 0 to full speed to spin the tires out and burn out on a straight line. That's fun. That's something you will not be able to do with a 2-stroke engine. And the most important thing, no fear, I'm gonna show you more from the car, is that for an FG on-road car it's about 10-12 kilograms. FG off-road car about 10-12 kilograms. HP Baja buggy about 11-12 kilograms. For 2 cars, 12S system are okay. 8S work, but you have to drive a little bit gently if you not want to overcook your motor and your battery. Low Z5 weighs about 60 kilograms. This baby here in 60S weighs 50 kilograms also, but I'm still lighter as an Hobbywing Max 4. With a Max 4 I would have 300 grams more on the ESC. I would have 1.2 kilogram more at the motor, and I need bigger battery to run 20 minutes. So we have made the difference between this and the same car with a mix 4 system from hobbying. We have 2.5 kilo less in this car, and 2.5 kilo on a 50 kilo car is heavy difference. Let's make a real difference. We also make the setup so we have lowered the battery, we have lowered the motor, so we have more LCG, and we are able with the system I'm going to show you to shift the weight in front, in rear, in the middle of the car the way we want. We can drive it 8S, 12S, 6S, 80S, 24S, what we want depending on your power system, but we have the room in this car to do all of that. Maybe you're also gonna change the setup to a 12 system with high amp to test the new SSS 5635 can motor, or the TP Power 7523 or 24 motor, who takes 910 kV in 12S. The SS motor have 800 kV in 12S. Why do I not use a Castle system? Because 8S with an 800 kV motor is way too less for such a heavy car. Don't try it, you're gonna overheat, I swear. Battery gonna die fast, 5-6 minute run time with 5000 milliamps battery. The motor gonna run hot. And never, sorry for the guys who are sure for that, you're gonna have 25 horsepower with a Castle 8S system. This, what I'm gonna say now, gonna maybe push some people on the nerve. Don't freak out, but go back to school. Go to your maths professor and ask him, if I have a 300 amp ESC 32 volt, is it normal to have 25 horsepower? And you will see what happens. Maybe he gonna kick you, because that's not possible, that's wrong. You not have 25 horsepower on an 8S 3 or 400 amp system. Make your maths, this is completely wrong. Here we have 6509 kV for V2 SSS motor vented, 600 kV, 60S capable, brings 13,000 watts. That means about 70 horsepower. You're never gonna match this out with a Castle system. I have tried it. I drive big motors and big cars with many S since years and years and years. And no, the Castle motor cannot bring that, especially because the new motor also have the new sensor system in there, and you need so much space between the end of the motor magnet and the sensor. That means the 800 kV Castle motor is no more 113. In there is only a 90 rotor, that means less power than before. Hobbying has done, because of that, the motor a little bit longer, but they still have not a real 113 rotor in there. What's the case from the SSS motors, the TP Power motors, the Leopard motors, and the old version from Castle and Hobbying motors, rated for 8S, because the rotor will explode in 12. The new motor can do that because the rotor is smaller. That's the point. So if you never have tried it, I swear, take one. Go to the Airsnake shop, here's on AliExpress or eBay. Take a V12PRO or V16PRO. First of all, it's cheaper than the Hobbying systems. Okay, you have no sensor, but if you drive for fun or if you want to do drag race, no matter. And take from those motor SSS Leopard or TP Power, you're gonna see it's a real difference, because these three brands has done what the other not does. Now Hobbywing does a 650 kV, what's a super good choice, but I want to see more. I want to see from Hobbywing less kV. They have done with the Max 4, but the Max 4 is 2 kilograms, 2.5 kilograms, just the motor. That's crazy. The whole power system, motor and ESC, is about more than 3 kilograms. Here we have 1.5, and that's what I like. For sure, for do drag race or speed runs, no matter the weight. So if you haven't tried, get one of those motor and gonna test it, and you're not gonna be disappointed. You will see you have a big choice of size from the motors, a big choice from kV on the motors, and even you can say you have 4 poles, 6 poles. And if you never have driven a 6 pole, do it. You will see there is a difference. It's driving a 6 pole than a 4 pole motor. So now I'm going to show you what's in the car, but before I'm going to show you my paint job. I haven't done it myself because I have not enough patience. Check out what the painter has done for me. We have here snakeskin in the body everywhere, and the colors comes out at different light levels differently, and this is really super nice. For sure we also have put the must-have signs on there: danger, high voltage. I have set up the car as a rally car, not as a GT. I don't like GTs. Personally, I prefer to drive a little bit softer suspension, more drifting action. And this is why we have done this. PM67 is here my local hobby shop in my country. My country is ELSASS, and ELSASS is split in 2 parts. We have the upper and the under parts. 67 and 68. Here 68 is my part, the underparts, and 67 is the upper part, but it's all one county. And this local shop sells MCD, FG, Traxxas, low Z big scales, and because of that, because I have seen the weight from these cars, he asked me, what do you drive in your car? And I tell him I drive Snake power system since years, and only from them since years, because the other brands has not stick the finger out to do 12S or more ESC. Now we have Hobbywing. That's really cool that Hobbywing does this. I hope that Castle will bring a 12S ESC also. I hope that Hobbywing and Castle will do other KV motors and our size for motors also. But I really like GR Snake power systems because it's way cheaper. I pay $350 for the ESC and $150 for the motor. That's cheaper than the Hobbywing 12S system. Castle do not do 12S system. The 800 kV motor can take 12S. I have tried in my FG Porsche. I was really happy in my FG Porsche with the Castle motor, but the car was only about 10.5 kilograms in 12S. This baby has 50 kilograms, and this is why I do not gonna put here a Castle motor in there, because I know for driving at the same speed that's 12S Hobbywing or SSS system, I gonna have more heat, because what I tell you before, sensor needs room, so the magnet from the rotor is shorter at the Castle motor, way shorter. It's a big difference. So the original MCD brushless setup system is made with a motor mounted here a little bit higher, who goes in the room from the clutch, from the two-stroke. There you have an adapter 3-part stuff to go from the motor to the two-stroke version motor pinion. I think this is too much. First of all, the system is too high. It's all weight you don't need. So I use from a Chinese here a motor mount system, costs about 25-30 euros on AliExpress for a low Z5 motor, and directly bolt this at this torque plate here underneath. That means I can still, like the original, move my motor this way. Here you have some slides, three screws, and then you can slide the motor. Difference is stock you can go from 80, and the 80 tooth pinion is hard to find. Most of them are 90s, 90 to 24. I can go from 60 to 30, and my motor is 3 centimeters lower down. Originally you have one battery here, one battery here. Looks a little bit weird, but if you drive only 8 or 12s with smaller battery, you have still a cool balance from the car. But if you go for more, you're gonna have a problem from overweighting the left side. Normally you have here 1 or 2 servos, depending on your choice. Here brake servo, throttle servo, and here the box for the battery for the 2 strokes. In brushless we don't need anymore the brakes, because the motor brakes. Many people are also concerned and tell, yeah, I need the mechanical brakes because the motor gonna suffer about it, but the motor suffer not more from braking as from acceleration. And I drive now since years with big motors, 8, 12, 60 ATS. Never had any issue from an ESC burnout because of the brake or something. And we have done here, made from carbon parts RC by G, to lipo tray, on which we can put any lipo on the market we can get for do what we want. 8S, 12S, 60S, 24S. If you get a 24S ESC, you can put 24S in this car. Take the right motor, maybe an SSS 250, 300 kV motor is able to take 24S to get humongous power. You can go for TP big motors. They also do, TP Power also does bigger motor than what we used to take in cars. They also do stuff for electric boards and some stuff, and this is something you can use because you also can get DSC to match this motor. That's pretty cool. My goal here was to make a budget 1/5 scale, because this MCD basic car costs about 900. I have put 600 at the electronics, and that's it. For sure, if you want the better version from the MCD, you have to spend 1,005. Then okay, you're gonna go crazy for a X4 800, 750 or 850, because you have spent already much money on the car. But I drive for fun. I'm not good driver. I have no competition spirit. I never had any issue to be the last. So long I have fun, I don't care. And that's it. This is why we make a basic setup here. I already have drive this. To check it, if you go on my playlist MCD, you're gonna see I drive on a 1/8 scale race track with this car, and this racetrack we also drive 1/5 scale. So this is why I put this one. Is a small circuit. It's a but you're gonna see how agile it is, and we drive about 20 minutes without any overheating, anything, without any cooling system at the motors. And at the time I do the tests, we had an out temp about 25 degrees Celsius, and now here we are winter, so for sure I think I never need a cooling system on there on a vented SSS motor. And if needed, all I have to do is just to put a fan on it. You don't need to use a cooling jacket. Those who tell this are jackass. Sorry guys. You do not need cooling system with water on an SSS motor in a car, and no, you never gonna have 25 horsepower at the Castle system. You have to go to read what Castle says about all what's up above 250 amps, because I have read it and they tell it's just estimation, it's no more precise. Then you have to put the data logger on 4-pole. The data logger Castle, I don't know why, is set up on 2-pole. That means he tell you that your 800 kV motor goes about 105,000 RPM. What's totally wrong. 800 kV with 32S is not 105,000 RPM. So once you have put your data logger to 4-pole, the RPM sinks to the half. That means 50,000, 55,000, even if you have put 20-30 degree turbo timing, which I not recommend because you're gonna destroy your motor shaft. And then you're gonna see what happens with this 25 horsepower. They go down to 12.5, and 12.5 horsepower is 7,000 watts. And this is precise what you're gonna get if you put the Castle 800 kV motor on a dyno torque test. He pulls out 6-7 to really big max 7,000 watts constant. Okay, so keep that in mind. Take your 12 CSC, take an SSS or a TP Power or a Leopard motor, put it on your SC, and then you're gonna see what happens. And I guarantee you, especially TP and SSS motors has way more power than the Castle systems or the Hobby. Just not the Max 4. Okay, the Max 4 is a big fat bad boy. She has humongous torque. And if I haven't tested it yet, it's only because I'm not willing to spend so much money on a motor and an ESC. I prefer to buy a car more, and it's way too heavy for me for what I do. That's all. But one time I have to try it for sure. So stay tuned for see the test runs. We're gonna do several test runs with this setup. We're gonna change the motor, make our test runs. We're gonna change the SC, make our test runs. And you're gonna see the vision of crazy power that Airsnake has, because that's way above what you're thinking to get with your Hobby or Castle systems. Because something super easy. SSS, Flyer, Airsnake, Mad Components are company who made motor and ESC for industrial stuff. Okay, you can get ESC and motors for systems who carries a person. So for sure they have more power than only what Hobbywing and Castle does, just only for a car. It's enough for a car, but if you want to go crazy, go to the website from Rafa Mamba Airsnake and check out what they have on the listing. If you have any question, he's already also there, no problem. And for those who burns out motor, don't forget, if you put such a big pinion and such a little gear for goes high speed, at some point you are going too far. But you must know it. Guys, have a nice Sunday. Now here it's the 24th of December, that means it's Christmas. So for all those who make this, how to say, I forget the English word, For those who party at a Christmas, a happy Christmas, I do not care. I don't wait to have Christmas to have fun. I have everyday fun, because I'm an RC freak. And I am blonde. Bye guys.